Welcome back! I'm Sarah Taylor, and today we're going to be talking about the second trimester of my plus-size pregnancy. I have a list of things to talk about because I feel like the second trimester was a little bit more eventful than the first. Not all in a good way. I'm also going to kind of impart some of the things that I've realized as a plus-size woman. I think when it comes to our bodies as plus-size women, we have a little bit more work to do when it comes to embracing our pregnant bodies, so we are going to get to that. We also are going to talk about some fat shaming that happened at an OB and all of that. There's been so much that has happened. And if you're wanting to follow along on my pregnancy live, I post a lot on my Instagram channel and on TikTok. So you'll want to follow over at the.sarahtaylor on both of those. It's the same thing for both. So let's get into it. So second trimester, my symptoms have pretty much stayed the same. We are 28 weeks and 5 days. Yeah, 28 weeks and 5 days. Part of the reason why we're now there instead of in the 26th or 27th week is because OBs did change my due date to September 17th from September 26th based on the baby's size in my 20-week ultrasound as well as my 12-week ultrasound. However, this could change. More on that at the end though. But so we are officially in the third trimester. And I'm still nauseous. That has not gone away. I am on a prescription that's supposed to, help with it, but it seems to only take the edge off, and I'm still nauseous all the time. So I'm eating legitimately every 2 to 3 hours in some capacity, and probably more carbs than I've ever eaten in my adult life because it's the only thing that seems to settle my stomach. And I still have a couple food aversions, mostly ground beef if I cook it myself. I tried to make a taco salad last night and it was challenging. And I'm still dealing with some bouts of vertigo. So it's kind of come and gone. I have tried going to 2 different chiropractors. We tried head maneuvers multiple times. I did go see a chiropractor that uses one of those pen adjusters, and that seemed to basically take the vertigo right away, and it lasted for almost 3 weeks. But unfortunately it came back yesterday or 2 days ago. So at least it's mild compared to compared to the first time I had it. The first time I had the vertigo, I was in bed for 3 weeks straight. So at least I'm fine upright. It's only when I lay certain ways and move my head certain ways in bed. So I'm learning to manage it at least. I also did see chiropractors because my back has been really, really bad. I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. I already dealt with back pain from a car accident before I got pregnant, and it just seemed to be made worse. It's all on my left side. It seems like it's sciatica, but it seems like a lot of other pregnant women have this issue. So unfortunately, I'm dealing with that, which means that I'm not doing much of anything and I'm actually having to rest, which is the first time in my adult life that has ever actually happened. That's pretty much, other symptoms. I still am dealing with a constant dry and bloody nose and congestion. So I use a nasal spray every night. And I use creams in my nose. I also, my poor boyfriend is having to deal with my crazy snoring. So I started wearing those breathe right strips to try and help. So those are all the random little symptoms that I have. The baby is definitely getting bigger. She is starting to move. One question I get asked a lot is, have you been able to see the baby move? And has your partner been able to feel the baby move? Because as a plus size person, a lot of people, it was a question I had too, when is that going to happen? So about a week ago, Mike was able to feel the baby for the first time. And on the weekend, I was just working and I felt the baby moving up top. Usually I feel her in the bottom, and I felt her up top. So I grabbed my camera just to see if I could see her moving. At this point, I had not seen it, and I managed to get 3 or 4 kicks of her moving, which was really wild because I was whoa, I could actually see her. And so she has shifted. It seems like she's getting into position, which is really good news. And so I am feeling those things and seeing those things, which is really, really cool. I still have a BBelly. I will show you later on what I look like. But adjusting to my changing body is definitely something that I've had to adjust with. And if you followed along at all, you know that I'm really big on the journey to self-love and learning to love yourself and your body and connecting with your body. And it was just heartened when I first got pregnant and realized like I probably wouldn't have a typical looking baby bump, and I was so obsessed with it, I would say, that I like kind of forgot like the whole purpose of I'm an oven and I'm growing a baby inside. So if I can recommend anything, it's to take the focus off what your body looks like through pregnancy. It is going to change. It is going to shift. You are likely going to gain weight. It is okay. And just to focus on honoring your body through this process. So for me, that's meant a lot more rest than I'm used to. It means taking pressure off. It means bringing my stress down. It's all of those kinds of things. And one of the things that I did to embrace my changing body a little bit more is I started taking photos of myself in the mirror in just my bra and underwear. And it's just for me. Like each week, so I can see the progression of my belly changing, and I make sure I smile in every photo because I think it really makes a difference just looking at myself and normalizing my changing body and remembering like I'm growing my little girl inside of me, and that's really, really special. I say that without being like, oh yeah, this is the most beautiful time. This has been the hardest experience of my life. I'm not gonna lie, mainly because of how sick I've been, and I've not been able to control how I feel. But I've just kind of succumb to it. It is what it is. This is temporary. There are days that are much harder than others, and there are some days that I just cry and I don't want to cry, but pregnancy hormones happen. So just be patient with yourself through this process. That's the one thing that I can recommend is like be patient, have grace, listen to your body. Your body's going to tell you what it needs. Lots of rest, lots of water. And do what you can. With that said, I had planned on working out through my entire pregnancy, and that has not happened because of how sick I've been, on top of my back being really bad. So I kind of had to throw any expectations I had about pregnancy out the window. So there's that. Then when it comes to, okay, it started off really good, but then it kind of turned really bad. So I had been seeing my family doctor basically from the moment I found out I was pregnant. I didn't have a family doctor, in all honesty. I had to find one. So I got a recommendation. She is amazing. Never made issue about my weight. I know that that's a concern for a lot of plus size women. She was phenomenal. And so she had sent a referral over to an OB, and they had not got the referral 2 times when she sent it. So they finally got it on the 3rd time. And she had sent it to a high-risk clinic because I'm over 35, I'm 37. And they decided that I'm not high risk, so that's good news. And they sent it over to the regular clinic. So there's been a lot of like, how come you saw an OB at week 24? Well, it is what it is. Things are busy, likely due to COVID, but it seems like it depends on where you're from, where you live in the country, in the city, how your doctor moves. Just depends on when you see your OB. So my first appointment was at 24 weeks, and I was a little anxious, not gonna lie. I talked a lot about it on TikTok, and everybody was like, why are you seeing somebody at 24 weeks? But that's why. It just is what it is. But I had care through the entire time, and in Canada, your family doctor can send you for all your requisitions. So I had a 6-week, a 12-week, and a 20-week ultrasound, where they do all the things, the blood test, the urine, and all of that. And then my first OB appointment, I went in and I wanted to start a conversation about weight because I wanted to see how she was going to handle it. So I had actually had a City Line segment air that morning. So I had brought that up, and she asked, so what was your segment about? So I told her it was about discrimination against larger bodies. And she was like, oh, I think we were meant to meet. I was like, why? She's like, oh, I did a webinar this morning that talks about weight bias in the medical field. And so we had this really amazing conversation. My weight wasn't a concern for her. She explained some things, also talked about why the BMI is so outdated and shouldn't be used. But unfortunately, doctors have to use it until something else comes around. Not really a fan of that, but it is what it is. And that was that. She changed my due date to September 17th from the 26th just because of how big the baby was based on the ultrasounds. And told me to come back in like the next 3 weeks. So it was a great experience. She was lovely. She even brought up the conversation of she had been thinking about putting a sign where the scale was, that you didn't have to be weighed, or you could ask to not be weighed, what I thought about that. And I thought it was amazing that she'd be asking that kind of question. And so This particular doctor's office, though, I'm not guaranteed to see her every time. There are 12 doctors on rotation, and my appointment this week, I definitely did not see her. I saw another woman who was rude from the moment she walked in the room. Have you started with, like, she just, like, rifled questions at me. Have you started looking at a stroller and a car seat and was, like, kind of attacking me? And I was like, okay, chill. Like, why are we being so intense? And then it moved to, like, her asking about parenting classes, and I said, well, I was looking at having a doula, and then she like jumped down my throat and was like, well, it's your doula or your partner, you can't have both because of COVID. So where we are, you can only have one support person as opposed to 3 typically. And I was like, I know, can I finish my sentence? So she just was like rude from the start, and then she made issue that I had gained 10 pounds and that I would need to like take a look at it and make sure that I'm doing everything I can. And she like just kept going on and pushing the fact of like that I had gained 10 pounds and how it wasn't okay and I needed to watch it and I needed to do all the things. And I was like, this is not going to go well. Meanwhile, she's then reading me all of my results from my blood test. So I just had the test to see about gestational diabetes. So I did that at like week 27, 28. All my blood tests to show all my like levels and whatever. So she legit tells me, keep doing what you're doing because all your levels are perfect, but don't gain any more weight and watch it and do what you can to bring it down. I was like flabbergasted. The rest of the experience was not pleasant. I had told her that I was really struggling because I was still nauseous and the vertigo had come back, and she was like, well, vertigo's not a pregnancy symptom. Something's wrong with you. And I was like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I've never had vertigo in my life. It came while I was pregnant. I've been told by multiple doctors that it's a very rare symptom, but it is possible. And I've seen 2 chiropractors to try and adjust it, ear, nose, and throat specialists who say that there's nothing going on. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but then she just kept pushing that something was wrong with me. Then she tells me to get up on the table. I tell her I can't lay back because of the vertigo. She props it up, but like, I was so like flustered at this point. She like pulls down my shorts. Well, we just need to like pull your shorts down enough so that we can hear the baby's heartbeat. Like, I didn't even get to enjoy hearing the baby's heartbeat. Baby's heartbeat was healthy at 152, but like, it was such a horrible experience. So I left, made my appointment because that's what I had to do for the next 3 weeks, and got in my car and just exploded into tears. Like, I was incontrollable. I couldn't leave for like 20 minutes because I was crying so bad. Texted my boyfriend and was like, that experience was horrible. And he calls and I explained what happened, and he was so mad. It's a good thing at this point that partners can't come with you to your doctor's appointment because she might not have a head attached to her body. He was so mad. So I calm myself down, end up being able to drive home. I get home, have something to eat because it was past eating time and I was so nauseous at this point. And I fill out an application for a midwife in our area. Now, the thing about midwives is you should really find one as soon as you find out you're pregnant. So I filled out the application and kind of put a plea at the bottom. It was like, I explained the situation, that I left the OB in tears, and I was like, whatever you could do. And I got a call within 10 minutes, and she's like, I know you just filled out your form, but I just have like a couple other questions. We talked through things. And she says, right now we're booking into February deliveries. I'm due in September. I was like, I had a feeling. And she's like, but let me see what I can do, see if we can squeeze you in. You should hear from me within 2 weeks. For now, just continue with your current provider. Not even 2 hours later, as I had just laid down because I was just so emotionally exhausted, I got a call and they found a space for me. So I have my first appointment with midwives on Friday. And from everything I've heard about the experience with midwives, it is a much more pleasant experience. It's a little bit more personalized care. Basically, the OB's office kind of is like you're a number, and having like any emotional conversation isn't like part of the equation. And I mean, clearly this doctor was really rude. So I am lodging a formal complaint on her and letting them know that's why I'm leaving. But I'm really hopeful for the midwife experience because there's a plus size woman who is very, very healthy. Like, keep in mind, I'm a personal trainer, and before I got pregnant, I was teaching 9 fitness classes a week. I eat really healthy. I take care of my body. I just happen to be a little bit bigger, but I've never had any health issues. The only issues I've ever really dealt with are like back and neck pain, and that was caused from an accident, multiple car accidents. So the fact that I am a healthy person, and the fact that this particular OB was like, you're doing everything right, but don't gain weight. Like, weight is the worst thing. It like had my blood boiling. It also has made me like realize I have more work to do when it comes for advocacy for plus size women. And so I'm trying to figure out what that looks like. Also, while keeping in mind of keeping my own boundaries in place and protecting my own emotional state through this pregnancy. So I'm sharing as much as I can, but I'm also having to be careful to not like try and do all the things because I'm a natural. I'm going to do all the things and then I burn myself out and I can't do that while I'm pregnant. So for me, this has been a really big shift in how I kind of like operate in everyday life, in all honesty. So that's where we're at. We're at the end. We're into the third trimester already. Friday, I see the midwife, so I'll do an update, kind of let you know what happens with that. Hopefully it's a much better experience. I'm really hoping for that anyway. But one other thing that I've made a really big decision about is because I own a business that is very public, I have a plus size virtual fitness studio. And so I'm running it as on demand. So we have over 300 on demand videos that you can do anywhere in the world. And then we have other support offering within our membership. So like a weekly live class on Mondays with one of my other trainers, group coaching calls with me every other week. You also get a weekly like guide for here's what I suggest for the week in terms of what workouts to do so that you're not on your own. It's kind of like a personal trainer in your own pocket. But everybody's like, Sarah, are you going to go back to live classes when the baby's here? And I've had to tell people I'm not making any decisions until the baby is 3 months old because I've never been a mom. I have no idea what it's going to be like having a baby, adjusting to all that, what I'm going to be like. And so I've made it public as of yesterday that I'm not making any decisions. And I'm really proud of that because I've just taken a step back to realize like I'm one person and I have been go all of my adult life. I've been doing a lot of reflecting and realized my last year of high school, I was working 2 full-time jobs. So I have always had multiple jobs. I have always been super busy. And this pregnancy, even though I've been really sick and that's been really frustrating, it's forced me to finally actually slow down and get the rest my body needs and has been craving for years. So I'm really proud that I've made that decision. I can't take a year off. In Canada, you get 1 year mat leave. I can't necessarily take a year off from my business. Like it's just not gonna happen. But I've made the decision that I won't be doing anything live for the first 2 months. I am going to take a solid 2 months off. Then I can go back to starting doing like my in-person my virtual coaching, not fitness related. So I do coaching when it comes to self-love, scheduling, accountability, all of that kind of stuff. And then after she's 3 months, I can kind of decide what next. Am I going to do live classes? Will I be creating a pre and postnatal program? I'm working on a certification for that. All of those kinds of things because I don't want to commit to something and then not be able to do it and have that pressure. And I also really, really, really want to enjoy my time with my newborn. I really want her to have a different life than I did when it comes to loving herself. And I really want to spend as much time with her as I can because I know I won't get a year like most women in Canada do. So that is that. Now, one of the things that I always still get asked is like, what does your body look like? So again, we are 28 weeks and 5 days, so we're almost 29. That is based on the new due date. I still have a BBelly, so I will show it to you. And my body has changed a lot, and she has grown crazy in the last few weeks. So I'm excited to see my next ultrasound. Hopefully that's sometime soon to see like what she actually looks like. But she's moving like crazy. I feel her all the time. Thank God she's not keeping me up at night. I still am sleeping, which is good. I mean, I get up every hour to go pee, but that's pretty normal. So let me just switch positions so I can get standing, and I will show you what things look like right now. Okay, so today's outfit, I'm wearing all airy. I have just been sizing up when it comes to clothes for the most part. I only made like one maternity order, which was Old Navy, which is on this channel, and one pair of pants from Motherhood Maternity that I ordered on Amazon. Everything else I've sized up. So Shein, A+ Apparel for rompers, Aerie, I love their shorts and some of their shirts as well, so this whole outfit is Aerie. And Sexy Plus, I've actually bought in 1X. I actually didn't have to size up. Would have been nice to size up. They just didn't have what I wanted, a specific style. But this is what we look like now. So there's the bump, and I'm going to show you the BBelly. So she is very much there, and it is pretty hard. And this is what my BBelly currently looks like from the side. So again, the BBelly looks like a B. That's why it's called the BBelly. And from the front, you can see she is very much there. So it is now getting to the point that things are a little bit more uncomfortable to move around. I can't do certain things like paint my toes, and things have been closed in Ontario. Salons are opening this weekend, so I actually am going to get a pedicure with a friend this weekend, which I'm so excited for. But moving around is definitely different. I can't bend over the same way. So things are changing, and I'm embracing it. It just is what it is. So that is your trimester 2 long summary. I'll let you know how it goes with the midwives. We'll be doing an update. I'll probably do a few more updates during trimester 3 as opposed to just 1, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot that happens leading up to it. But we are working on getting ready for baby. Our shower invites just went out. My best friend and my mom are, planning it, and we've started to get some gifts, which is really exciting, and it's becoming more real. But that is it for my update today. Thank you for joining if you're still here, and we'll be back soon. And if you've got any questions or you want me to do a video on anything specific when it comes to plus size pregnancy, drop it below. I'm happy to do a Q&A. I'm happy to talk about anything else specific. If you want a little bit more in terms of like the self-love piece while you're pregnant, I'm happy to do that. I'm actually right now in the middle of teaching a 6-week self-love course, which is really cool to be doing while I'm pregnant with baby girl. And that will be actually available as a self-love course that you can do on your own. We are partway through it already. Anyways, all of my details are below, and if you're looking to get your body moving, whether that's now or after baby, we will be here. Anyways, that's it. See you soon.